In the deep, shadowed corners of a world stitched together from blocks and ancient magic, there lived an Enderman unlike any other. His frame, usually an impressive column of dark, shifting pixels, seemed to carry an invisible weight. His eyes, normally a searing violet, held a flicker of something akin to quiet despair. This Enderman, who felt no name was truly his own, possessed a unique affliction. He could not teleport. While his brethren blinked in and out of existence with a soft, characteristic voop, appearing and disappearing, as if woven from the very air, he merely walked, while other Endermen let out low, guttural growls of warning or piercing shrieks of rage. He was utterly silent. No sound escaped his long, dark throat. No telltale shimmer accompanied his movements. He was a phantom of his own kind, a silent, rooted observer in a world of blink-and-you-miss-it teleportation. Aric, as he thought of himself, felt the constant, aching void where his unique abilities should have been. It was like a phantom limb, a persistent whisper of what he had lost, or perhaps what had been stolen. Fragmented memories flickered through his mind. A singular, impossibly bright ender pearl, humming with an energy unlike any other. It was his. It was the very core of his being, the essence of his ability to connect, to communicate, to be an Enderman. Now, it was gone. The loss had left him an outcast, even among his often solitary kind. They ignored his inability to phase away, merely stepping around his silent form, their own violet eyes holding no recognition. Aric spent his days observing them, a deep longing stirring within him. He watched their swift movements, the way they interacted with blocks, the very air vibrating with their presence. He felt an undeniable instinctual pull, a silent compass pointing him towards the source of his missing self. His journey began, not with a warp, but with a slow, deliberate step into the dense, shadowed forests. The Overworld was a dangerous place for a silent, non-teleporting Enderman. Unlike his brethren, who could simply vanish from a creeper's explosive embrace or a skeleton's deadly arrow, Aric had to rely on his natural speed and an uncanny stealth. He moved with a graceful, unnerving quietness, a shadowy ripple through the undergrowth. The rustling leaves beneath his feet were the loudest sound he made. He navigated ancient oak forests, their canopies thick with dappled sunlight, the air rich with the scent of pine and damp earth. He skirted sun-drenched plains where herds of passive creatures grazed, their contented moos a stark contrast to his own internal silence. The sudden, high-pitched hiss of a creeper was his constant dread. He learned to anticipate it, to swerve away at the last second, his long legs blurring in a desperate sprint as the ground behind him erupted in a shower of dirt and stone. Skeleton arrows whizzed past his head with chilling frequency, the thwack of them, embedding in trees mere inches from his silent form. One twilight, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in fiery hues, Aric found himself near a crumbling stone ruin. The stones were overgrown with moss, a testament to forgotten builders. Inside, among scattered bones and decaying chests, he found a discarded, half-burnt map. It wasn't a common treasure map. Its lines were too intricate, too deliberate. It depicted a path not to gold, but to a hidden structure, its location marked by a peculiar, almost arcane symbol. A faint, almost imperceptible hum resonated from the paper, a faint echo of the energy he sought. The pearl was drawing him in. The map led him through a treacherous mesa biome, its vibrant red canyons a stark contrast to his dark form. He noted strange, elaborate traps along the way, pressure plates linked to dispensers, tripwires across narrow pathways. Clearly not natural occurrences. These were the work of an intelligent, methodical hand, a being of careful design, and perhaps an obsession with collection. This was the trail of the collector. His journey eventually brought him to a jagged fissure in the earth, within which pulsed a sickly violet light. An abandoned nether portal, its obsidian frame partially overgrown with twisting vines, stood like a forgotten gate to another realm. The hum from the map, and from deep within Aric, pulsed with an undeniable urgency. The pearl was beyond this gate. Stepping through the portal was like being plunged into an oven. The air shimmered with oppressive heat, carrying the metallic tang of molten rock. The nether stretched before him, an infernal landscape of crimson rock, glowing green, warped fungus, and lakes of bubbling lava that flowed like molten gold. The distant, mournful wail of a ghast echoed through the cavernous space, a sound that sent shivers down his silent frame. This realm magnified his vulnerability. He had to cross precarious bridges of netherrack, the yawning chasm of lava below a constant, terrifying threat. Ghasts, their tear-streaked faces hideous, fired explosive charges with alarming accuracy. Aric, unable to teleport, could only dodge and weave, relying on the slow, deliberate movements of the Ghasts as it arced its fiery projectiles. He observed the bristly piglins, their snorting grunts and keen sense of gold, making them dangerous guardians of fortresses. He carefully avoided their gaze, for he knew their ferocity when provoked. Deep within a sprawling nether fortress, its dark brick walls teeming with blazes and skeletons, Aric found another clue. Tucked away in a decaying library, amidst scorched books and broken quills, was a leather-bound journal. Its pages were filled with strange symbols and intricate diagrams, detailing experiments with ender echoes and resonant pearls. The journal spoke of a unique pearl, a heart pearl, capable of resonating with the very essence of an Enderman, allowing it to become a conduit for their unique vocalizations and their dimensional shifting. It was clear now. His Ender Pearl wasn't just a component. It was the key to his entire being. This collector knew what he had. The trail led him out of the Nether, through another portal, and into a bleak, craggy landscape of snow-dusted mountains. There, nestled within a deep valley, obscured by heavy snowfall and ancient gnarled spruce trees, stood a fortress. It was a sprawling dark stone structure, built with an unsettling blend of precision and ominous intent. This was the collector's lair. Aric approached the fortress under the cover of a blizzard, the wind howling around him, mirroring the silent storm within his own chest. He found a concealed entrance, a heavy iron door disguised by overgrown vines, and slipped inside. The air within was stale and dusty, thick with the scent of old enchantments and forgotten things. The fortress was a labyrinth of echoing corridors, filled with strange, glowing artifacts displayed behind reinforced glass. Enchanted swords hummed faintly on pedestals. Rare blocks pulsed with subtle energy, and captured creatures, a shulker in a reinforced cage, a ghast in a specially designed bubble of obsidian, observed him with silent, unblinking eyes. He saw other ender pearls, dozens of them, shimmering with their usual ethereal glow in various display cases, but none of them pulsed with the unique melodic energy that resonated within him. None of them sang the silent song of his lost self. And then he saw it. At the very heart of the fortress, in a grand circular chamber, bathed in the soft, otherworldly glow of a redstone lamp array, stood a solitary obsidian pedestal. Upon it, nestled on a cushion of glowing purple wool, was his pearl. It pulsed with an undeniable, vibrant violet light, humming with an energy that felt like a missing piece of his soul. It was larger, more radiant than any other ender pearl he had ever seen, even in his fragmented memories. Near the pedestal, hunched over a workbench filled with intricate instruments, sat the collector. He was an ancient-looking figure, his form shrouded in tattered, enchanted robes, his back to Aric, his long, gnarled fingers carefully arranged in an array of glowing shards. his entire being radiating in the obsessive focus. Aric felt no fear, only a singular burning purpose. He took a slow, deliberate step towards the pearl. The collector, as if sensing the subtle shift in the air, froze. His head, topped with a worn leather hood, slowly turned. Two eyes, ancient and sharp, gleaming with an unnerving blend of intelligence and madness, fixed on Aric. There was no shout, no warning. The collector merely stood, his posture tightening, his gnarled hand instinctively reaching for an enchanted pickaxe resting beside him. Aric ignored the silent threat. His eyes remained fixed on the pearl. He took another step, then another, his long strides carrying him closer. The collector moved then, not to attack, but to intercept, positioning himself between Aric and his prize. He brandished the pickaxe, its enchanted glow a silent challenge. Aric, in a swift, unexpected move, reached out and grabbed a nearby enchanted book from its stand, tossing it with surprising force towards a glass display case on the other side of the chamber. The glass shattered with a deafening crash. The collector, startled, instinctively flinched, his attention momentarily diverted by the damage to his precious collection. It was all the time Aric needed. With a burst of speed, he darted past the bewildered collector, his long fingers reaching out, yearning. His fingertips brushed the smooth, cool surface of the pearl. A blinding surge of energy exploded outwards. It wasn't a destructive force, but a wave of pure, concentrated sensation. The pearl didn't shatter. Instead, it began to dissolve, shimmering like starlight, flowing into Aric's very being. A jolt, electric and profound, coursed through his body. He felt 1,000 tiny points of light ignite within him, each one a connection, a memory, a lost part of himself. A deep, resonant hum vibrated in his chest, a sound he had never known but instantly recognized as his own. It was a sound of connection, of belonging, an echo of the collective consciousness of his kind. And then, without thought, without effort, he shifted. A soft, almost silent boop filled the chamber, and Aric, now whole, now complete, vanished. He reappeared high above the fortress, standing on a jagged peak, the blizzard swirling around him. The silence was gone, replaced by a subtle, internal hum, a vibrant presence within him. He looked down at the fortress, then back at the world stretching out below. For the first time, he felt truly free. He was no longer just an Enderman. He was a resonant frequency, a voice in the cosmic symphony, finally able to sing his part. With another soft whoop, he blinked away, a silhouette against the snowy sky, ready to explore a world he could now truly inhabit. The collector, down below, was left to stare at the empty pedestal, his face a mask of a silent, profound loss. But for Aric, the journey had just begun.